People are often fascinated by wealthy people and they wonder, how did you build wealth? So this video, we're going to talk about how to build wealth from scratch. I'm Paul Maguire, made a lot of money in real estate and business, be an entrepreneur, but I didn't start out that way. Started out with a credit card, buying my first chiropractic practice. So let me show you how to build wealth from scratch. Here we go. The mindset of building wealth comes down to understanding the importance of capital. So we're going to talk about capital and money and how they're different. Second, we're going to talk about when building wealth from scratch, where do you start? Like, what are the ways to get money coming into your universe so that you can start buying assets? And three, we're going to talk about the three common mistakes people make when they're trying to build wealth and start from scratch. And let's dive right in. So first, let's talk about money versus capital. Okay, when you are starting out and you want to build wealth, it's important that you understand that every dollar is not money, it's capital. Capital being invested in your business or in yourself. My recommendation is if you want to build wealth from scratch, you subscribe to this channel and you watch and you learn. Because learning is how to earn is very important in your ability to build wealth. And building wealth is in part starts in the mind and with thought. A lot of people don't realize that people who have wealth think a different way, and I talk a whole video about how the wealthy think. But in terms of thinking in terms of money and capital, I think of capital or money as money that I can invest in other things. I live very frugally, okay? I don't own a jet, all right? I don't spend a bunch of money on fancy vacations. I don't wear fancy clothes. I just don't, okay? I have a nice car, a couple of them, but I drive around a lot in my business, so they're really more business stuff. But I don't really spend a lot of money, okay? I live very modestly. So could I spend a lot of money? Yes. Do I? No, because I realize that money is capital, and I need that money for capital. I have friends with $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month house payments. That's capital, $100,000 to $140,000 a year going out towards a place to live, all right? My place to live, free and clear. I own it free and clear. I turn out the lights, I guarantee it looks the same as the $10,000 a month house. They look exactly the same, okay? So where you spend your money is important. I suggest in order to start wealth from scratch and to build wealth from scratch, you stop buying stupid shit, okay? Don't buy expensive cars, don't buy expensive couches and chairs and all this electronic crap you don't need, all right? Keep your capital and save it to invest. So that's step number one. Step number two is realize that certain industries are going to help you build wealth. And those industries are sales. The fastest way to build wealth from scratch is to get into some type of selling. Typically selling somebody else's product or service, not starting your own. There's lots of other businesses where you can accelerate and get paid very good money. Medical industry, other different industries like construction. My nephew does really good selling heating and air conditioning systems for a company, solar systems. Get into selling, learn how to sell. If you want to build wealth from scratch, you'll realize that most wealthy people have the ability to do two things very well. Number one, communicate and persuade. Number two, sell. Selling is survival. A lot of people have objections about selling. There's nothing you own, there's nothing on your body that wasn't sold to you, wasn't marketed to you that didn't make you buy something. I saw a video on YouTube just the other day, which is why I recommend you subscribe because you can learn a lot. It was a former Secret Service agent who talked about the cereal boxes for kids' cereals. Instead of the eyes of the comic character on the cereal box looking straight ahead, they now look down. Look down at what? The kids who are down here looking up, right? So learning how to sell and market and persuade is critical to you building wealth from scratch. You have to be able to sell. My own example was I was working at McDonald's for $3.10 an hour, okay? And my brother said to me, Paul, do you think that you can make more than $3.10 an hour borrowing your other brother's truck and doing construction or doing yard work or doing hauling? I said, well, yeah. And that was great advice because that advice from my brother actually got me on the road to thinking differently. Can you make more than $3.10 an hour having your own business? That question changed my life, okay? Because I immediately started borrowing my brother's truck, and I would do hauling for 40, 50 bucks. This was back in the late 70s, early 80s when I was in high school. And I learned how to sell. I would knock on people's doors and say, hey, you want that stuff out of your yard? So building wealth from scratch starts with thinking about how to make money and selling and working and doing. Just to be clear, there's only one place in life where success comes before work, and it will always be true. And that's in the dictionary. You have to work. Okay, you have to work to build wealth. The next thing, get up early. What do I mean by that? I mean that get out of bed. Okay, make a list of things to do and go do them. Focus your attention on educating yourself on how to make money, educating yourself on sales, educating yourself on building wealth. Learn about the topic. Because look, wealth, work, making money, they all have their own vocabulary. They all have their own words. Okay, if I talk about real estate, depreciation and appreciation and, all these different terms, okay, those are industry terms. HELOC, home equity line of credit, like I talked about in a previous video. That's an industry term. You may have never heard of a HELOC. That's what it means, okay? TDS, transfer disclosure statement. You never heard of that. So in building wealth and in sales, there's certain things you need to learn about. Overcoming objections, seeing if somebody's qualified, presenting the product, listening, seeing if they reach or if they ask an interest question or a buy question and what those are and how to close, okay? All of those things are important to building wealth from scratch. And the fastest way to build wealth from scratch is to sell. The next way to build wealth from scratch, and one that's very important, is to not spend money you don't need to spend, but also invest in yourself and your education. And it's so much easier today. I'm in my mid-50s. I tell people all the time who are younger than me, I go, you got it made. I mean, I used to have to pay for all this stuff with Nightingale, Conan, and listen to tapes and all that. You get all this great information for free on the internet. You get some of the smartest, most expert people in the world who are telling you the best of the best on video. And they do that, why? Because they want to give back. Because they want to help, and it's part of their business to communicate and reach people all over the world today. 7 billion people and counting that can be reached by being on YouTube. And I've watched stuff, and you probably have too, from years ago that helped me. As a real estate guy, I watch other real estate guys and gals and see what they have to say. What are they doing? What's their opinion of the market? Okay, because that's my subject area, that's my industry. So building wealth from scratch, remember to subscribe. By subscribing to the video and to the channel, I'm constantly talking about ways to make money, how to invest in real estate. You just did one on how to get a home equity line of credit, how to borrow money, what you should pay, free money from the government. I talk about all these things. So if you want to build wealth, what better way than for somebody to give you free capital? Okay, so where can you do that? FHA.com. Look at all the grants, put in your state. There's a whole list of them, and that's not even all of them. And you can get a grant to get your first house, whether it's something you live in, usually with the grant, or something to fix up. Huh, did you know that? No, which is why you watch the video. So like, comment, let me know what you think, and get yourself alerted when we make a new video. I can't pay the people back that help me. I can only pay it forward. Now, I've never met you. I don't know you, but I know you're here, and I'm your friend. I want to help you. You're my neighbor, okay? I want to help you learn to earn. I want to help you come up. So the last way that I'm going to talk about on this video of how to build wealth from scratch is something that a lot of people don't realize, and that is that you, yourself, have a certain passion and purpose. You are unique and there's nobody like you. You have intellectual property. Okay, it's in your brain. You shouldn't drink, you shouldn't do drugs, and if you do, understand that those are affecting your ability to earn, your ability to build wealth. And if you're bummed out and depressed because you don't have enough money and you're at the bar, drinking, talking about the good old day, forget it, dude. You need to stop doing that shit, okay? And you need to focus on your passion, your purpose, and why you're here on this planet. Okay, because you're here to make a difference. You're here to contribute. Whether it's being a father or mother, whether it's creating a business, whether it's fixing up a home, whether it's being a doctor or lawyer, whether it's being a social service worker, whether it's being a teacher, you're here to contribute to humanity. And you will be happiest when you contribute. And if you find that you don't have wealth, but you want it, that's great. That's a realization. Wealthy people, I talked about it earlier today in a video I made, they make lists. They work their list. They get things done. They watch and mirror other wealthy people, okay? So building wealth from scratch comes down to you, my friend, realizing that you are unique and that you can and potentially could be very wealthy by what you already know, your own intellectual property, and creating and leveraging that intellectual property to create money, to create value in the marketplace. You are paid in direct proportion to the number of people you serve. By studying and learning specialized knowledge. I know a lot about real estate. I know nothing about rocket science. Nothing. I don't know any of the terms. I don't know anything. I mean, propulsion. I mean, I know a couple things, right? But you ask me about real estate, I know it all, right? Almost all. I haven't done it all, but I know a lot, right? That's my area of expertise. I'm a professional at it. So in your case, in terms of the human condition, your condition that you're in is changeable. And you can change, and people do. There's lots of examples of people who were broke, who had nothing, who came out of it, okay? The first step of coming out of it, no liquor, no drugs. Start writing down what you want to do in your life. What are your special skills? What are your specialized knowledge? And develop that specialized knowledge to become an expert and sell that in the marketplace. Either sell somebody's product or get in a position and even a job if that is the best way to get some money. Everybody who's successful did things they didn't like in order to get to where they wanted to be, okay? I worked at McDonald's. I learned a lot. I didn't like it, but I learned a lot, okay? And one of the things I learned is what I didn't want to do. So always work, always make money, get your capital, don't waste it on stupid shit, and focus on your intellectual property, your passion, what you want to do. People I grew up with, his brother became a very successful bass player and musician all over the world, plays with bands you would have heard of. And I won't reveal who it is, but I can just tell you they're very, very successful. And I grew up with the family and I watched. And his passion was music, okay? And he decided to get out of college to pursue his musical career. Okay, and the parents really didn't like that because that wasn't their vision for him. But his vision was music and he became very successful with it. What's your vision? What's your purpose? Write it down. Focus on that. Get around other people who are successful in your industry. If you're into music, surround yourself around musicians. You know, I have a friend of mine, she sings, okay? She's working in Las Vegas. I'm like, get out of here. You need to be in Los Angeles, where all the musicians are. So be around people that do what you do. If you want to get into real estate, be around real estate. If you are passionate about helping kids, go volunteer, work around kids, and look for opportunities that will allow you to make money. I got to say that I've done things for not a lot of money that have given me an education that has made me a lot of money. One of them was working at a gas station for an owner that was very passionate about service and taking care of customers. And that instilled in me as a young man, as a teenager, the importance of taking care of your customers and them coming back and coming back and coming back. And those are important things. And you know, nobody's perfect. Nobody takes care of all their customers perfect. We all have mistakes. But at the end of the day, it's the intention to do the right thing and the system to make sure people get taken care of. Can you build wealth from scratch? Yes. How do you do it? Focus on yourself, study, be around people that are passionate about you, keep your mind and your body clean, eat healthy, get fresh air, stay away from people that are going nowhere, and be around winners, which you are because you're watching this video. I'm Paul Maguire. Join me in the next video where I'm going to talk about how to break into your wealth mindset and what you need to do to think and how you think to be wealthy. I'll talk to you then.